Okay, let's finish off this investigation and get a little further here. I just made her analyze something. Let me have Bookworm analyze something. Yeah, see, I was kind of expecting to get the investigation done in the last segment there, but she only has one, so. But the residual thought, those do take some time, so. One more thing to analyze, and it's only or maybe they can do it. So I'll have her analyze the thing first because that's more important. So let's do preliminaries.
I believe I've recognized this recent picture of the author. Could the architect Meiko Aragi truly have been a detective all along?
Okay. The black sesame SPX tracks via smell, right? I believe Dolphin was still bleeding when Ideal was killed. Maybe that's somehow relevant here. Interesting. Another mystery point there. Downtown left incompetent a hint about the cornering Duke case. Let's begin by figuring it out, suggested the girl. Okay. It's all open to new mystery points. So who hasn't moved? I can't warp people, so not really much I can do here. Okay, let's just investigate. Okay, so and there. Get coming closer to that one. Yeah, we'll move armor over here. I guess I'll try to these. She can't get close, right? Not yet. Next turn. Start making progress on that. And then yeah, should be good. These are going to be interesting because they do not really give us a lot of time for these, but
yeah.
Okay, so that should get us that. We will have. Oh, okay. Wait, what did he do last turn?
I thought he was supposed to inspect it. Maybe you didn't hit inspect?
Oh, maybe I didn't? I thought I did.
Because I know you placed him there.
Yeah, maybe I didn't hit inspect.
Like,
weird. Okay, I'll just do that. And then chancing her not making it in 2 turns.
Yeah.
Okay, and then now she can infer here. And they can assist, and I think armor has like 9 assists. Yeah, so they actually should clear this.
Nice.
Because the total is actually their total is 21, so they'll actually be able to clear this one in one shot in 1 turn too.
Nice.
Oh,
Did you not do the assist for the other one?
I couldn't. I just moved. I did the when you do like the full map movement, you can't also take an action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this chandelier trap has been considerably modified from the original blueprints to be far more deadly. Only the man who designed it, Senior Detective, could pull off such a bold renovation, the girl said, voicing her horrifying realization. So now Senior Detective designed the chandelier trap, okay? Okay, so let's see. Okay, 2 turns should be good, because we can do, let's see, 6, it's 4 is 10, so they'll finish this next turn. This one will be tough. I don't know if I'll get them both over there. Oh, that's right. They can.
Oh, yeah, you can do it from the left and right.
Yeah, I kind of, for some reason, I assumed they wouldn't be able to move through each other. I don't know why. So. Okay, so they'll clear that. They won't clear that this turn, but they'll clear next turn. So actually, I don't think I'll need to. Like, this should be it, but just in case. There's bloodstain on the entrance. Is this why the black SPX repeatedly threw itself against the door when we hid inside? The girl asked. Okay, well. Yeah, you guys do your thing. Let's just preliminary. About the hints incompetence shared, I think I get it. Downtown undifferentiated between killing and dying is a nod to the truth behind Senior's case. Okay, cool. The Minami Juji kidnapping incident, case of the VR killer, like SPX, Nanase conference case, woman guest manor. Interesting. There's our 3rd investigation this chapter. I don't know if that means it's the last one, but it would make sense. 1 hour remains until our collars detonate.
Oh, then we're really screwed.
Yeah, really. I gathered the group in the living room, just as Ideal Detective did when she first presented her hypothesis to us.
Oh, so that means Armor doesn't technically have a collar on.
That's true. He doesn't have to give a crap. In 1 hour, I will finally be alone. My heartbeat gradually quickens. I think I finally hit upon the truth, but it's a hard one to swallow. I'm a bit hesitant to tell the others, to be honest. Saika. I'm still as inexperienced as I thought. Competent really is the better fitting alias for me. I chuckle at my own shortcomings before shifting my gaze forward. No one's here. I can't back down now. My only option is to trust in myself and share my theory. Thank you for coming, everyone. I've discovered the culprit behind the case of the dismembered detective. Allow me to explain.
Tell us your conclusion first. It'll spell trouble should the culprit escape. Better to inform us at once if they're in our midst.
Relax, Bosch. The culprit isn't here, because they're already dead.
The culprit is someone who already died? Was there a traitor among the research facility staff?
No, I think... Sorry, I misspoke. The culprit is here. They are only dead to me. It's you, Doful.
They will soon be dead.
Yes.
I see. That was an oversight on my part. Yeah, that's right. Shut the fuck up. Sit your ass back down. Were their corpse mingled with the rest at Snarks? They'd have practically disappeared. Senior's killer was a maniac uncaring of their own demise, then?
Misinterpreted again. No, that's not what happened.
Beg pardon?
Everyone in the research facility at the time said that Ideal had been contacted via D-pad by a voice resembling Senior's, right? That means whoever did so was undoubtedly still alive during the time of the crime. In short, the true culprit was one of the people you were working alongside with.
But pardon?
It isn't actually that mind-blowing. Maybe your abilities as a detective are just that inferior to his, the girl said, hitting the bullseye.
place. I will not be called inferior to an incompetent, and there are no bullseyes to speak of. In fact, your shot missed by a mile. Do you hear me?
Why don't we disregard Clown Detective and continue with our discussion? So you're saying that someone in our group murdered Senior Detective? The girl asked, prompting Incompetent to elaborate.
I mean, at least someone's putting her in her place, just saying.
Jesus Christ. Before I reveal who the culprit is, let me first explain some special characteristics regarding this case.
What would those be? Was there something different about this one compared to the others?
Yeah, but it goes beyond just what happened here. Every incident linked to the Quartering Duke shares something in common. The common thread is that there were always two simultaneous victims, right? Although in Senior's case, he was the only casualty. Was there something else? No, Senior Detective's death didn't have any of those commonalities. Because the culprit attempted and failed to pattern it off the Quartering Duke killings. The remark Armor made clued me in on this. Me? What was it I said? It's not even an inkling. I've not even an inkling. Jesus. It was something you mentioned just a bit ago. Yeah, his comment was the piece I needed to put all of this together. What he said was that...
I nearly died.
That
wasn't fatal.
Yeah.
He thought I died?
Right?
Or...
No. Okay, no one's here to give a reassuring smile if I make a mistake now. I need to make the right choice.
I guess
what he said was that he thought I died. Oh, yeah. Right? No. Oh, because I nearly died because I was supposed to get hit by the thing. I is referring to me,
yeah.
not him saying that he, because I was reading it as him saying, as Armor saying it.
That's how I thought.
Yeah, that's why it was confusing me. It's like Armor nearly died. It's like, well, the whole point was Armor survived because he's Armor. So it has nothing to do with this. But no, he's saying I, incompetent, nearly died. That makes way more sense. I was lucky to escape, just as Armor said. Anyone who got caught in the chandelier trap shouldn't have lived to tell the tale. That means there were supposed to be two victims, the same pattern seen in the Quartering Duke cases. So, whoever set this trap up intended to indiscriminately kill another person in addition to Senior Detective? They didn't care who it was, so long as somebody else died? How awful. I mean, that actually does make the most sense, since they wouldn't have known who would spring the trap. No, the crime wasn't that random. That's the most disturbing part. Had I not shown up as an unexpected factor, there would have been even more chaos than we already experienced. Okay, I see, I get it. The Duke had clearly planned for one individual in particular to be killed alongside Senior Detective. One sec. There isn't any way to just lead someone into opening the door and die into the trap, is there? How did the Duke arrange to kill another person so purposefully? Simple. He told that person in advance to open the manor door before anyone else, then stand right in the chandelier's path, feigning ignorance.
Just a moment. You're suggesting that someone was willing to die merely because a Quartering Duke bade them to? That's impossible.
But someone already was, remember? Someone died right in front of us, all for the sake of the Quartering Duke.
You mean...
That's right. They were part of the group that was heading toward the manor at the time. The initial plan was for them to fall victim to the lethal chandelier that I wound up setting off instead. And that person was... Oh wait, no, it's not what I want to say. Clearly it was Renegade. Duh.
Oh, of course.
Obviously. Right, no, maybe it was just Ideal. She called her own D-pad and pretended to be Senior Detective while she was standing there and everyone was watching.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually not Senior, okay. I just assumed... Wait, this applies to... Okay, now I'm confused. Is it referring to who... Because they kind of implied that Senior Detective was the one who was doing it, but...
Oh, no, I think it was the one who was supposed to die. Was that the statement?
Maybe. Oh, yes. Maybe that's what it is. I wish I could use the log now, because that's what I'm trying to clarify. But in that case, it's incompetent, right?
No, because he just coincidentally did it, but it's meant
Yeah. Oh, maybe they told Downtown to open the door before anyone else, which is why she rushed ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Downtown Detective. Originally, it was she, not I, who was meant to trigger the trap and die on the spot. Doleful techie, you remember, don't you? I bet she rushed to open the door first when you reached the manual, right? Yeah, you're right, she did. I'd take a bit longer to get from point A to point B, so she offered to go ahead and turn on the AC before running off. She was just being her usual bubbly self, so I didn't think anything of it.
It felt a little dangerous to me, but I think she was acting like that while gearing up to die.
So, the burnt remains that gloves used to handle the wire saw were hers as well, correct? The girl inquired. That part has me curious. If she planned to die anyway, keeping those gloves on her as evidence wouldn't make much sense. She should have had some extra time after rigging everything up. So, why didn't she just dispose of them outside? We found those hastily burned gloves in the fireplace while investigating the case of the dismembered detective. It's no overstatement to say it was thanks to those gloves that we came to the conclusion the culprit was still inside the manor. Even if she was prepared to lay down her life, Downtown would have been needlessly walking around with evidence that implicated her. Which means there was a simple reason why she kept holding on to those gloves. Okay, that makes sense. The one singular reason Downtown would have kept something as conspicuous as those gloves on her. No? Okay.
That would make her a suspect.
It would make her okay, yeah. So far we're doing great on these questions.
Oh, yeah.
What if her goal was to die with the evidence on her so she'd wind up being suspected? Being a suspect was her goal? But why? Think back to what happened with Renegade. If you left behind something suspicious when you died, what do you think would happen? You'd be labeled the culprit, no question. Right, so if Downtown died at that time, with the evidence on her person, she likely would have been deemed the quartering Duke. I can imagine the headlines already. Pitiable serial killer ends murder spree via suicide, the girl said with a wry chuckle. So the true motive behind killing Senior was to pin the blame on Downtown Detective and have her die as the Duke.
Hold on. Even in her final moments, Downtown never once claimed to be the Duke, right? Doesn't that seem odd if taking the credit was her goal?
Well said, Sir Incompetent. Sir Incompetent had deepened his bond with Lady Downtown just the same as I. It is unconscionable to think she would sink so low as to claim to be the quartering Duke. Yeah, I get the feeling she ended up going against the Duke's orders there. I didn't realize it at the time, but true to form, her final words were actually a message to us. True to form? Oh, so. Right at the end, Downtown showed her pride as a detective by using her signature ability.
Manicure deduction.
It's like, one of these is an actual thing. Take a second to parse through it and make sense of them. That I don't know why it took me a second to be like, oh yeah, one of these is real. Remember what she said at the very end. You're such a bleeding heart. Like, legit. It makes me want to cry. Downtown? You poor sweet summer children. This is all a total walk in the park for me. You're no match for the complete whack job that you're up against. Still, you tried, so here's a little hint. The Duke is the reason my friend died, and me killing Mystic and the folks on the island, it's like all connected. Senior Detective died because of the Duke. I killed Mystic, and now I'm gonna die too. Not because of anyone else, but out of my own free will. Just chew on that for a sec. What do those words really mean? I didn't get what she was trying to say back then. but her encoded message was definitely on brand with her communication skills.
It's all connected? In what sense? Was this all one overarching crime?
I see. Her method was to be expected. She was quite adept at manipulating others with her words, actions, and demeanor. She used die when referring to Senior and herself. While Mystic and the others were killed, the difference in verbs is key. Exactly, Bookworm. So she differentiated... Oh, this is you.
Yes, that's right. Shut the fuck up, Bookworm. So she differentiated between verbs? To what end would she do such a thing?
How very like you, Clown Detective. You missed the point entirely. The girl sighed, too frustrated to speak. Clown Detective, Jesus Christ.
That's perfect. You're speaking right now, are you not? Yes, surely the fault is all mine for being so slow on the uptake.
Die is an intransitive verb, while kill is transitive. Intransitive verbs don't have an object.
And that's significant? How exactly?
It's not. I just was reading that. I don't understand how that works.
I just wanted to prove how stupid you are.
I'm looking it up right now. I just don't understand the concept. But grammar was never my strong suit. Well, Downtown said that both her friend and Senior Detective died, meaning they weren't killed by someone. So the person who killed Senior Detective was in fact Senior himself. The reality is that this case was a suicide which he committed. I beg your pardon, mimicked the girl, deftly snatching the words out from Pasha's mouth.
No snatching, you thief, you. What do you mean Senior Detective committed suicide?
It threw me for a loop too. By considering a certain possibility, however, everything suddenly falls into place. Senior was the traitor working with the Quartering Duke, assuming he's behind the massacre at the research facility, that is. True, all the other personnel was killed, so I did find it odd that only one survived. It would have been too risky to go to all that trouble just to kill Senior Detective. But if Senior himself was behind the trap, then there wouldn't be any risk. Plus, no one would ever think he committed suicide using a trick like that. One moment. Is it truly possible to lay so complex an artifice all by oneself? I shall speak plainly. Such a task would be far beyond the means of an oaf like myself. You're as honest as ever. But no worries, it'd be an impossible feat for most people. I'm sure Downtown helped out with setting things up as well as wiping out the staff. I see. One could envision the success of this stratagem were both to be involved.
So that means Downtown not only assisted Senior with his death, but also had to anticipate her own down the line? What a heartless scheme.
It's also kind of hot. Wait, what?
So when are we gonna run into the two remaining detectives?
I'm pretty sure we're not. I think the whole, because when they talked about, because what we realized is what they talked about is they didn't come to the island at all. They turned down the invitation to work in the group. Or
hear me out. Armored is actually dead. It's someone else wearing this.
Ooh, maybe.
What if?
Ooh. I mean, it is kind of weird to them. Well, so one of them makes sense because the gentleman detective was relevant because he's Techie's, Techie is his apprentice. So Techie came in his place, and that's why he is important. Which is why Techie actually doesn't. I think Techie is actually not connected to the case from 10 years ago in the Dayless Night incident. Because Techie wasn't actually invited to join this, whereas most of the other people are, to some degree.
But is there any concrete evidence that Senior really was a traitor? I'd like to believe Downtown's message, but I just can't see him double-crossing us. He was the most tenured vet in the DA.
I've got proof, something that clearly points to Senior Detective's involvement in the scheme. However, it also reveals that this case is even more morbid than we realized.
There's more? Downtown assisted in laying the trap to kill Senior before becoming a victim to it herself. And now you say there's more?
Wait, there's more! Some alterations were made in the chandelier trap for this plan. You see, Renegade Detective left a book open for us in the perfect section. Oh man, that's crazy, because so in the chapter 2 investigation, Renegade, because you can't control Renegade in that, so Renegade does his own thing. The first thing he does is he goes over to the library and like unlocks a thing in there. So like,
wait, is that the one? Wait, no, it's not. That's not the one where he's chasing you, right?
That was chapter 3. That was chapter 3. No, this is the one in the mansion, the one that we really struggled with because the poison traps kept showing up, and I had to restart it like 6 times. Then we just ended up start doing it like the next time we played.
Okay, I do recall that. Yep.
Yeah, the one where we actually had to flip between the 2 floors, which they've never reused, which is an interesting mechanic. Yeah. So the first thing Renegade does is he goes over to the library. So I guess when he did that, he used that book. Or like he opened that book up back all the way back in chapter 2 for us to discover now. Were it not for that, I wouldn't have realized the other truth of this case. Only a truly crafty individual could throw this case a curveball post-mortem. But right now, Renegade Detective has my thanks. The one who designed the chandelier trap was none other than me. It was me. I did it.
Oh man, I knew it. I freaking knew it.
Tell me, do you recognize this recent photo of the author of this book? Oh, Meicho Oragi is Senior Detective. I opened the book in question and showed them an article on the author, causing everyone's jaws to drop in unison.
That mustache, that's Senior Detective without a doubt.
This manor's architect, Meicho Aragi, was mentioned by the book in the underground research lab too. That was Senior Detective. Oh, okay, he actually made the mansion. That's why the name sounded familiar. The one who fell victim to the manor was the very man who designed it. No way it was pure coincidence, so I checked the chandelier again. What I learned was that the trap had been modified. Its brakes were disabled so that it could descend at a lethal speed.
Pardon?
It was obvious upon examination. One specific section had more up-to-date parts than all the others. The chandelier's construction was altered for this crime. I believe the only one able to do such a thing would be its creator, Senior. Techie's got it. Senior clearly adjusted the trap so whoever got caught in it would be guaranteed to die. In other words, Senior wasn't simply a victim, but the perpetrator behind the entire scheme.
A victim and perpetrator at the same time? Then this wasn't a homicide, but rather...
That's the most horrific part. Finally, I share my conclusion with the group. Who was intended to kill Senior Detective?
Who was intended?
Yeah, I mean Senior, but I'm guessing it's either Downtown or Senior, because technically Downtown triggered the trap, is I guess the implication maybe? The one who was supposed to kill Senior Detective was Downtown, but I suspect he also helped with the arrangements to end his own life. At the same time, he collaborated with her so that she would die by the trap as well. Who was intended to kill Downtown Detective? I mean, it's technically also Downtown.
Yeah.
Right? No? Okay. Wants me to pick Senior then? Okay. By killing one another, they would both become victims and culprits, resulting in a truly bizarre scenario. First Downtown arrived at the manor first, so she could open the door and trigger the trap, killing both herself and Senior. Or so the plan went. It turned out an unfamiliar boy had already set it off. Even worse, the murder weapon was still on the chandelier, and the gloves were in her pocket. As it should, she would be pointlessly outed as a traitor, and the DA wouldn't fall into disarray. She must have really been panicking. So, in an attempt to cover her tracks as much as possible before armor arrived, she slipped on the gloves and took the wire saw off the chandelier. With the evidence still on her person, she joined up with us, quietly tossing the wire on the floor as she went through the underground passage. Then, once Psycho directed us to split up, she hurried to the living room, lit the fireplace, and burnt the gloves. While things hadn't gone according to plan, she did manage to dispose of the evidence. These were surely the facts behind this case. Everyone else is dead silent. That's no surprise, though. Not only have I outed Senior as a traitor, I've also revealed that two allies of the Duke had plotted to kill one another. It's unfathomable. But there's still one more truth left to reveal. This is a buy two get one free deal.
Nope, 30 seconds until the collars detonate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's time to tell them the Quartering Duke's true identity. We decide to leave the manor and head to the heliport. Oh my god. And on that note, I think we'll have to leave that bombshell for next time.
God damn it! I hate you.
You
As much as I want to continue this, I do need to head off too.
No,
so.
yeah, that's exactly.